Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Sean, aka the Common Shooter, and I'm just doing a little impromptu chat here to ring in the deadline for registration in New York, which happens in a half hour. So I'm not really going to be talking about a whole lot, other than that. And I don't even know how long I'm going to be doing this for, because I'm just kind of bored. So I figured I'd do a chat and see if anybody hangs in or jumps in there. Let's see what happens. Croatian Forge already plus one me. Thanks, bud. So, everybody's already heard about the stuff going on with Bundy and them taking over the land. I've been really busy lately. Haven't been paying too much to the politics. But it is great to see all the militia members that have shown up and done what they can to show why the Second Amendment is there. And as we all know, the Second Amendment is there to prevent tyranny and unjust laws and an unjust government from taking over. And that goes hand in hand with what's happening right now in New York. If we actually stand up and fight and resist the tyranny, no, thanks for the mark there, Matt. Uh, Things would be a lot better. But nobody is standing up. And I'm to blame just as much as everybody else. Nobody is actually standing up and doing anything that matters. Yeah, there's been videos out there of people burning the registration forms, which that's great to see. I'm happy to see people doing that. But what is it actually doing? Is it? Do you think Cuomo actually gives a shit that people are out there burning the registration on national television? No, all they're looking at is, look at that. There's a whole bunch of faces. Let's figure out who these people are. One thing that is probably the scariest uh, is the snitches. You know, if somebody decides to snitch on somebody who maybe doesn't have their stuff registered, I've gone the route of modifying my weapons so they don't need to be registered. That's the course that I've gone down. And if everybody wasn't asleep in my house right now, I'd go ahead and show them to you. But that's the route that I'm going. I'm not gonna, as much as I would love to just blatantly disobey the law, it is a law, and it will make me a criminal if I were to if I was to have something that I wasn't supposed to, I could potentially lose my rights, whether it be part-time or permanently. I'm not willing to sacrifice that. So I've taken the measures of modifying my weapons, which I believe is the best course of action. Modify them so you can still use them wherever you want. And that's what it's about. It's not about complying. It's not about finding a loophole necessarily, as much as it's about, if you want to be able to practice and use your weapons that our government in New York is deeming dangerous and an assault weapon or illegal, and they're not even illegal, they just have to be registered. Now, when it comes down to the registration, it is only a misdemeanor for your first time offense, in which if you were to get caught, if somebody was to get caught with a weapon that is supposed to be registered and it is unregistered, they have it's a misdemeanor charge, and they have 30 days to get that weapon registered. And that's only if the weapon was purchased prior to January 15th of 2013. Any weapon purchased, any assault weapon by New York standards purchased after January 15th of 2013 is deemed an illegal weapon. You are not allowed to have it. Don't ask me how they intend to prove when the weapon was purchased. I guess they could go through some sort of serial number, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, this is the countdown to registration. I don't know if anybody's watching. It looks like we got a few viewers. You know, maybe we can get a couple other people in here. Like I said, this is definitely a spur of the moment chat that I just decided to do more out of boredom than anything else. But I'm just going to go ahead and talk a little more about my perception of what's going on there in Nevada with the cattle rancher. Like I said, I don't know a lot, but I do know that they have supposedly backed out and they've gone away. My opinion of that is that it's more of a strategic move, that they are not necessarily backing down, but they're trying to avoid all-out bloodshed because they know that that would cause even more of an uprising. And they're going to take other tactics. What those tactics are, off the top of my head, I don't know, but they're not going to give up. It's the fucking government. They're not as stupid as they appear. They never are. But they're definitely pulling an old switcheroo. They're giving the militia, they're giving us an idea of victory, and with that victory and with that celebration becomes complacency, which will result in letting our guard down. Now, if they don't leave, if they continue to bring the fight to the government and was it the DLMP, then it will continue to last. Where the rancher has a disadvantage is that too many, and this goes hand in hand with the registration here, too many other people have already complied by giving up their rights to the land. Because in my opinion, the government's land is our land. We pay the government. It is not the government's land. It is our land. And we should be able to do with it as we please, within certain means. Now, we shouldn't be able, I'm not saying people should be able to go out and trash it and do whatever the hell they want and destroy it, because as an outdoorsman, there's nothing more that I can't stand than, you know, for example, the asshole fisherman that leaves a fucking 6-pack of beer cans lying on the ground and walks away. It's horrible. If people can go respect the land, that's a different thing. Getting off track here. My point being is too many other ranchers have given up the right for a fucking turtle. I'm pretty sure that these cows are not hungry for turtle. They're herbivores. They're not going out there looking to eat a turtle. They're not going to crush and destroy a turtle. A tortoise. Excuse me, a tortoise. Okay, there is a difference. That's the biggest issue right now, is that too many other people have already complied in some form or another to allow, excuse me, to allow the government to have a legitimate fight. All they would have to do is, well, everybody else complied, why didn't you? Why? Because it wasn't right. It does, yes, it only takes one person to start a war, as we have seen. It took one person to stand up to them to get a backing of, you know, I don't know the exact number of militiamen that have shown up, and if you want to call them a militia, call them a militia. I prefer the term patriots because maybe people showed up that weren't necessarily organized. I'm sure there was a lot of people that showed up just to support the fight, and that's the bottom line of it. So let's see if we got some people in the chat room, and if anybody wants a link, please let me know, and I will be more than happy to send it to you. Hi, Josh. I prefer the term patriots. Let's see. Left is in here. What's going on? Fuck cows and turtles. I bet you some people probably would like to fuck the cows. Lifted. Whereabouts are you from in New York? And I'm seeing some stuff that apparently the BLM is not leaving the Bundy Ranch, and that doesn't surprise me. I'm going to try to get some more info here. I know they tried confiscating the cattle. They've since given up on that. Groups have been traveling from as far away as Virginia, Texas, Montana, Idaho, Wisconsin, and arriving at the protest site to support the family, which is great. And it is tyranny. It is a tyrannical government, and we do need to stand up to that. We need to do something. And it's a great sign to see this, to see what these people have done and the effect that it has had, if not to the extent that we want, but to see that something may actually be possible. You know, maybe it'll take the fear out of people to say, well, hey, if enough of us do unite, they will back down. And hopefully they will. I don't think our government, honestly, will have an all-out war with us. You know, that's kind of the conclusion I'm coming to because of the effect that would have on their image worldwide. Because I think our government is more concerned with how the world views us rather than how the people living inside of it view us. And perception is reality. If they can put a perception out there that they have some sort of control and that they are, in fact, controlling what's going on within the country, then that is going to be the reality of the mass public throughout the world. Let's see here. Oh, I know I had nothing to do with turtles there, Atomic, but that was their excuses for protecting the land for fucking turtles. I forget who the government official was that actually put that in. Yeah. You need to be getting back. Okay. And it is spring break, so kids are up later than they normally would be. Significantly later. Where the hell was I? The train of thought has left the building. Somebody help me out here with who the official was that oh yeah, that's right, Harry Reid. Who would have thought Harry Reid would have had anything to do with any of this, right? And I have read that, and it is fucked up that apparently when it comes to the western states, the government owns like 80% of it. 80% of it is owned by the federal government. Now, I believe that property, if it's going to be owned by any government, it should be owned by the state. It should absolutely be owned by the state. Oh, you're in Hudson Valley? No shit. Yeah, they absolutely are ATF. They're backing out in order to, like I said, they're backing out in order to give that perception of a victory. And if they can't kill you on camera, they will destroy you in the courts. And they absolutely will, and they will make your life an absolute fucking living hell. Hands down. they will make your life a living hell. Oh, man. Yeah, so I apologize for not being a little bit more energetic here. As I have stated, it has been quite the hectic time around here for me. Try to send a couple of invites out here. Hey, what's going on, Mayor?
Yo, what's up?
Not much. Shooting the
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, a little bit of off time, but I might have to get to work here in a little bit on tax stuff.
I hear you. I'm not doing this for a long time. It was just kind of an impromptu chat. As the title states, countdown to registration.
Yeah,
And the countdown is at 12 minutes until the registration deadline hits for York.
Oh, wow. Damn, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. As I've stated, I've decided to modify my weapons to make them less lethal. I guess you could say.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Because me putting a different stock on it and taking the muzzle brake off, absolutely that 223 round or 556 round is not. It's not going to be effective anymore.
What? What are you talking about?
Yeah, modifying my weapons and like my AR, modifying the AR, changing the stock on it so it doesn't have a protruding pistol grip and it doesn't have a muzzle brake on it. It means the 556 round won't kill people anymore.
Oh, oh, jeez.
It will
Yeah, I
no
know.
longer be as effective.
I know, man. Those laws are real goofy. But, thank God I live in Texas. I think I've said it before. But,
God bless Texas.
yeah, definitely. I wish that y'all guys could enjoy that stuff too, man. You know.
It is kind of nice to see though that manufacturers. I forget what I think it was. I think it was Daniel Defense. I want to say, but I'm doubting myself on that. Actually created a production line of New York compliant AR rifles.
Oh yeah, I think I heard about that. They got that weird. It's kind of like a weird stock setup on them.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I put on mine. So
Oh well, I mean, you can still shoot with it.
yeah, it works just fine. It absolutely
Well,
works just fine. It's
yeah, but
not.
it does. It lessens the damage of the 5.56, though. You got to take that into consideration.
It's not accurate anymore at all.
I know. Oh, jeez.
I will admit though, I mean it's not as comfortable. It definitely takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
Ergonomically, it's not exactly the same. But when you go from this to this, and that's all it's done. It's stopped me from holding it like this and tilting my hand.
Yeah. True. True. Yeah. I mean, it probably feels more like a bolter now, in terms
It
of
feels more like it feels more like a traditional hunting rifle.
Huh.
Um, but it's definitely no less effective. I can still maneuver with it just as well.
Not bad.
And hopefully I'll get a video out on that soon.
Yeah, because they said you can't have flash hiders on them either, right?
We haven't been able to have a flash hinder since '94 in New York, so that's not even a. Now
Oh shit.
you can't have a you can't have a threaded barrel, so you're not supposed to be able to have a muzzle brake of any sorts.
Man.
That's one of the evil features. I will say though, as far as accuracy goes, it doesn't affect it on one-off shots, but uh, as far as follow-up shots go,
hmm
having the military-style muzzle brake on it originally, it did prevent a good amount of muzzle rise, so I'm
Yeah.
not able to stay on target as fast, but I'm still hitting the target.
Yeah, true, true. I mean, there's not really much kick in a, 5.56er, so you should be all right, I think.
It's kind of the way the stock is though. The back spring up here and the stock comes down this way and back up, so they're separate entities of
Yeah.
one another. And I've noticed it actually seems to cut down the recoil that you feel a little bit.
Hmm.
And we've got 7 minutes. So what have you been up to? How have you been?
Pretty good. I just cut open a 5.45 round, for one of my displays. I just shared it, I think, right now. There you go.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. I made it just tonight, actually. I was just kind of tinkering around. I thought it would make a pretty cool display. This is the first one I've done, actually. I usually just cut, the bullets open if if they got like an AP core or like a hollow port. So
Yep.
I just decided to do the case also, and yeah, sure enough, I finally got it all said and done. But yeah, you heard about that 5.45 ban, right?
No, I've not. I've been out of the loop for a few weeks here.
Yeah, the ATF decided that 5.45 by 39 is no longer importable if it's surplus because of the mild steel core, of course. So, yep, no more cheap AK-74 ammo.
I guess I probably didn't hear about that because I don't own an AK-74,
Yeah.
which is not a good reason, but it is the truth.
Yeah, it was really ridiculous. I mean, man, everybody was really pissed off about it. I mean, it was just bad. Everybody was really up in arms about the stupid thing. You know, I mean, it doesn't penetrate armor any better than a standard ball round, really.
Yeah. See, in New York, the AK-74, since it's got the shorter barrel on it, you actually need I don't know how it is throughout the country, but in New York, you actually need a pistol permit in order to purchase one.
Oh wow, that's really weird.
Yeah, because it's so short.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, 'Cause I had looked into an AK-74 for a while and decided not to go through the hassle because you needed a pistol permit in order to purchase one.
That is insane.
It's not
Golly.
considered a
Here I
rifle.
build them for fun. You
uh,
know.
well, yeah, as they consider anything with a under, I think, an 18-inch barrel, you need a pistol permit in order to
Oh
purchase.
yeah. Yeah, 74 has a 16-inch barrel. Yeah, no wonder.
So, 5 minutes.
Yeah, we'll see how that whole registration goes down, man.
Uh, I mean, just a lot of it's just fucked up in general because Cuomo has started pushing back certain things past election time. He's trying to win favor left and right with the outdoorsmen and the sportsmen. It's not working. I don't know anybody that's like, oh, he's done this. That's great. No, people have not forgotten, and they won't forget. And
Right.
I hate to put faith in the voters,
Yeah.
but my only hope is that we actually do show up at the polls and
Yeah, and change
get him
them.
out of office and make
Exactly.
some sort of change to this. As far as like legal battles go, uh, it's hit or miss. I'm not having a lot of faith in that either.
But yeah, it's I mean I don't think that they're gonna enforce it really, to tell you the truth.
Well, I mean, the state police, they don't have a choice.
Yeah, true.
Uh, the scary thing is that if they have basically the buyout for snitches. If you snitch on somebody and it holds true, they're gonna pay you for that information if it's justified. Now, the biggest issue with that is I can't see how they would have probable cause based on something that somebody says to kick somebody's
Yeah.
door down and get a search warrant.
Yeah, it's just like hearsay.
Exactly.
But, of course, when they bust down your door and then they plant a rifle there, they could just plant one there. They could just be like, oh, look what we found, in this duffel bag in the back.
Yeah.
You know what I
Drop
mean?
their own in there.
Yeah, exactly. It happens all the time, man. Especially with up north, I hear about it a lot. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, might be getting time to move to a little bit more gun-friendly state. Maybe not necessarily so far away, from New York, but maybe to I don't know, a state that's closer that has a lot more, I guess, freedom.
Well, I've been thinking if I could move and it was without sacrificing family at the same time,
Yeah.
like my daughter, things like that. Uh, I would have certainly moved already, but if we were going to move, I'm not that far from Vermont. I'm only about 45 minutes away from Vermont, and probably about a little over an hour away from New Hampshire, which are two very gun-friendly states. The last rally that I went to at the Capitol here, they were actually handing out flyers saying, "Come to New Hampshire, we support you."
Oh, wow. Yeah.
In Vermont is constitutional carry, so you can open carry, you can conceal. It doesn't matter. You can do carry however you want. You don't need a permit.
Wow.
You don't need anything.
Yeah, here in Texas, you can't do the open carry unless if you're outside of city limits. So, it's not too bad, but I mean, I don't know. The whole open carry thing is, kind of up for debate, I guess. But I'm not either here or there on it, so it doesn't really affect me much. I have concealed carry, so I can conceal wherever, anyways. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, especially the rifle laws, that's a big deal for me. Like I just bought this shotgun just the other day. I don't know if you can see it on my profile.
I can see the picture there. It's pretty sweet. Oh, it just turned 12 o'clock. So welcome to the countdown has ended.
Yeah.
Firearms are officially to be registered at this moment. And if you have not, then welcome to the penal system.
Right. They can come all the way down to Texas to get mine.
They were actually, I don't know, they were actually running ads up here from Texas for a while saying,
Oh, wow.
we have jobs, we have this, we have that. Come down here and bring your guns with you. And they literally said, come down here and bring your guns with you.
Yeah, you gotta love Texas, man. But yeah, I don't know, man. Who knows? Who knows how it goes with the whole
Mike has
registration?
said, you need to organize en masse together to not comply. But the key is to organize and have the overwhelming numbers committed to the cause. And I definitely agree with that. But it needs to be in public. There definitely needs to be an organized group of people. And we've let it go. So the problem is we've let it go so far in New York already that it would be difficult to show force in a matter like that. There's open carry protests that are happening all over the place. We can't do that. If we were to step foot anywhere with open carrying, we've already committed a crime that we can be arrested for. Granted, yes, if there are enough people that do it, I doubt the government would take as strong of action, but they would still take some sort of action. And it's hard to get people to organize like that and say, hey, put yourself out there knowingly committing a crime that will make you a felon to where you will lose your rights. But I keep going back to it. Definitely, what happened at the Bundy Ranch is one example of how people can make some sort of a difference. Whether it be overwhelmingly effective or not, because I think there's hidden motives there. They're retreating simply to find a better course of action.
Yeah, I don't know about New York, with being the whole organizing and massing together. In Nevada it worked, because a lot of people brought assault rifles and whatnot.
Yeah.
But in New York it's a little bit different, I don't think that they'd let you go down, with your rifles slung. I'm not really sure. You'd know more about that, I think.
The only time you can have like a rifle basically displayed in public is during hunting season, and then you have to be basically on your way either into the woods or out of the woods and back to your vehicle.
Man, yeah, that's rough. Yeah, down here we had an incident where a man was carrying a rifle in the neighborhood, and well, a peace officer showed up, and he went ahead and he told him, "Oh yeah, well I'll go ahead and escort you home," because I think the guy was going from his buddy's house to his house a couple of miles down the road, and so anyways, what happens is that the peace officer was escorting him, and then the sergeant showed up, about like a minute later, and then the sergeant said, "Put down the weapon," and the guy was like, "Well, I'm not doing anything wrong," Well, they wound up tasing him, and it, created this big old, I guess, outcry or backlash. And a whole bunch of people here in Texas came down to the San Antonio Police Department, and they actually stood outside of the police department with loaded rifles and pistols, open carry and everything. And I'll tell you what, none of the officers came out, to confront them at all. I was really surprised. They knew that they did something wrong, that's for sure.
Yeah, they might have known they've done something wrong, but it's not going to prevent them from doing it again, I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah.
It is good to hear about that more and more, though, how people are uniting and making a standing armed front.
Yeah.
If something actually goes down where they strip our rights too far, I think they're starting to see that there is going to be armed confrontation.
Exactly. Yeah, and at the whole the Bundy Ranch, I was actually very surprised that nobody fired the first shot. I was actually really surprised. That could have went wrong a lot of ways, but in the end, it actually got settled, pretty peacefully. Well, the thing is that we got to watch out for the government coming back in, in about 2 years or next year, under the cover of darkness.
Yeah, they'll do something. I mean, it's definitely not over. That's for sure.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I keep on telling all my buddies. They're like, "Oh yeah, it was a great win. We did it and everything. People showed up." Well, in reality, about 1,000 people showed up compared to the 5,000 estimated that were supposed to show up.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be a lot more numbers, but since this was considered a victory, I do think in future events such as these, it would, help morale to where
And
more people would have the courage to go and stand up for these things.
yeah, and that's I kind of mentioned that right in the beginning is that it is, and that's exactly what it's showing is that we can succeed in this with just 1,000 people. So more people to show up is obviously going to be a good thing.
Exactly. And same thing with the New York, with that whole registration act. I do believe that, numbers help a lot, and the more people you have protesting this, the better. Um, and now, since the whole Nevada thing is,
Huh? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, now that the whole, huh? Go ahead.
Um, the hell was I gonna say? Yes, exactly that. Seeing the armed resistance and people not getting killed and the government actually backing down is, for the most part, backing down is absolutely a good sign and will take some of the fear out of people and encourage others to stand up and say, hey, it may have been a small victory, but it was a victory nonetheless. As long as people don't get complacent in that and don't
Yeah.
take their eyes off of the end game, because I don't think they have reached the end game to this yet.
Oh, definitely not.
They're only in the first quarter.
I mean, this is just the start, you know. But yeah, I do believe that, if they start arresting people in New York, and what is it, a felonious charge? I think it's a felony if you don't register.
Say again.
Is it a felony if you don't register your rifles in New York now?
The first charge is a misdemeanor, and in which time you would have 30 days to register your firearm. If you don't, then you will be charged with unlawful possession of a firearm, which would be a felony. And if they can prove that the firearm was purchased after January 15th of 2013, then it is automatically a felony charge.
Oh wow, yeah, that's ridiculous. They're just trying to take the progressive way, I guess. You know, because I mean, if it was a felony, right off the bat, if they, broke into your home, with a warrant or whatnot, and arrested you and said, oh, you didn't register your firearms, felony charge, I'm gonna, put you in jail forever, sort of deal. You'd get a really big backlash from gun owners in New York. But since
I
this
mean,
whole,
they've got enough of a backlash already. And the fact that they give you 30 days in order to register the weapon, that also means that if you have other weapons, you have 30 days to register all of them as well. Because if you get caught again, that second charge would be a felony charge, and you'd lose everything.
yeah, true, true. I mean, that's just insane.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like this: they probably figured that, well, let's give them a misdemeanor charge, make them comply, uh, and at which point they would have to register every single one of their firearms uh, that are required for registration, so they can get a better tally on it, so they can get more numbers and have a better opportunity to take more off of the streets. Not, I will. Let me rephrase that: not off of the streets, out of the homes of innocent, law-abiding citizens.
Exactly. No criminal cares about that.
Exactly.
I mean, no criminal is going to say, "Oh, I can't carry a pistol in New York. That's illegal." I mean, they go around, they shoot people all day and night, and they don't lose any sleep over it. You know, I really don't understand the mentality of these congressmen and all this, all these lawmakers.
Mike had mentioned I need to start doing videos from the front lines in New York, uh, and I should. As far as like protests and things like that go, the last protest that I went to, it was very difficult for me to do video because I was actually doing work with the New York Second Amendment Coalition, which is a very strong supporter and works with a foundation called Scope, as well as which is a subdivision of the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association. I was working with them, taking donations to help in the legal fight. So I didn't want to do a whole lot of video with that because it would have required a whole lot of forms, I'm sure, like to, can I use you on YouTube? I have to mark everybody's name down. I remember who they are. Come to think of it, though, I don't know if that would apply because it was in a public area. And it has been mentioned in there in the comments. God bless Barry from the Iraqi Veteran Channel. I don't know if you've heard, Mayor, but he has passed away of a heart attack.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that until I saw the Hawaii Volcano Squad user. He posted that. Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, so, God bless him. Prayers and thoughts, hopes, good vibrations, whatever you want to call it, out to his family. I hope they're getting through this time easily, not as well as can be expected, is what I should say.
Man. Yeah, he will be missed, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm wondering what's gonna, I hope the channel continues to grow and get the word out.
Yeah, I'm posting it to my feed, to my Google Plus. Wow.
I'm gonna try to do a video there. Mike's posting about it. I will try to get some video from the front lines. Maybe, grab some registration forms just to see what they look like. I want to try to do some interviews with some police officers on how they intend on following through with the law, if they intend to follow through with it at all. But I am getting very tired. I'm going to cut this chat short. My wife requires some assistance as well. Are you still there, Mayor?
Yeah, I'm still here, yeah. I thought you were telling the crowd real quick.
Oh, yeah, I am, but I'm also saying to you that
oh, okay.
I'm gonna cut this short.
Yeah.
Tell everybody
It's good to hang out again.
Definitely. If you're in New York and you choose not to comply, that is your choice. My advice would be to modify so you can continue to use your firearms and be as much in compliance with the law as you can. Find your way around it. But by all means, what you choose to do is what you choose to do. And I bless you if anything ever happens. So I do thank everybody for watching this short impromptu chat that's been going on for about an hour. And I hope everybody will tune in again and possibly catch me someplace else later tonight. Everybody have a great night.